Small mice scurry anywhere that food scraps may be found. To the novice, their movement may seem chaotic and random. The skilled mouser learns to anticipate their every move. As a hero on a great quest, you surely don't care about becoming a better mouser.
Mice are a strangely complicated mob when compared to their overall weakness. The reason for this is they're more of a decoration to be observed than an obstacle to be overcome. You don't want them jaunting alongside skeletons and orcs, nor do you want them to chase you down if you accidentally hit one. In the real world, you'd expect them to cling to the wall for safety and scurry down long and narrow corridors. As a result, the pathfinding AI for mice in Powder was more complicated than the default wandering AI that most neutral mobs relied on. So when I started working on the AI for Ash's quest, I decided to heck with it and wrote this as my first AI task. As you can see, there's a few mice entities currently scurrying around this dungeon room, and like the opening said, they seem like they're just randomly darting around. But the truth is, each movement is determined by a strict set of rules. A mouse will always follow a wall in whatever direction it's going. Note that as far as the AI is concerned, fluid tiles and other monsters count as walls. If there's a wall in front of the mouse, it will try to check for open spaces on its left or right sides. If neither direction is available, it will turn around and head back the way it came. When possible, the mouse will prefer to keep a wall on its left side, and will opt to make the left turn to keep a wall on its left side over continuing forward with the wall on its right side. If there are no walls in any of the adjacent tiles, the mouse will just continue forward in a straight line until it hits something, at which point it will refer back to its normal behavior. With these 4 rules governing the mouse's movement, the end result is a monster scurrying around the dungeon in random directions. But if you can recognize the pattern behind their behavior, the chaotic path they take through the dungeon becomes a clear and almost orderly routine, almost like you're watching a little wind-up toy. While it's unlikely that a new player will be able to immediately recognize this routine, experience within the game will eventually draw them towards this predictable behavior, and once they recognize it, they can use it to their advantage. So starting things off, we need to create an AI task for this pathfinding approach called scurry that returns a boolean. First thing it does is get the last direction the mouse is facing. Once we've got that, we check to see if there's an obstacle on the mouse's left side. If there isn't, we double check if the rear left tile has an obstacle, and if so, we have the mouse turn left and flag it for a movement opportunity. Now if there is an obstacle on the mouse's left side, it instead checks their surrounding tiles in a clockwise motion to look for any open spaces it can scurry towards. If there's a valid direction, we break and update the mouse's direction and flag it for a movement opportunity. If it can't, we set its direction to -1 and set the flag as unable to move. If there's a valid movement opportunity, we would tell the mouse to try moving in that direction and return the success of that movement. If we don't, we set the mob back to its original movement direction and return false to the AI task. And there you have it. With this task, we now have a set of very basic instructions that tell our mice how it should traverse the dungeon. Although since this pathfinding system isn't influenced by anything outside of the monster's immediate surroundings, I wouldn't recommend it for anything that's expected to attack the player or have any meaningful interaction with the dungeon. Now you're probably wondering why I'm investing the development time in porting over an AI task that's only used by a single monster, especially since I've taken extreme measures to reduce the file size of the game. Well, there's 2 reasons for that. First off, the compiled Java code is like 1.5 kilobytes. That's a small price to pay for an interesting behavior trait that players can take advantage of. And second, I actually want to add more unique behavior traits to the monsters. Stuff like dragons hoarding golden gems, liches hunting down fresh bodies to reanimate, and so on. Likely due to the limitations of the GBA, all monsters in Powder relied on a single function for their behavior, and while their behavior varied a bit based on flags assigned to them in global definitions, there is little to no room for creature-specific behavior beyond that and the spells and intrinsics assigned to a given mob. So probably one of the biggest deviations between Powder and Ash's quest is going to be in this area, as I'm going to try and overhaul the monster AI in the game so that they all feel more unique and special in how they try to kill you. It's going to require a lot more coding and testing, but I think the overall payoff is going to be completely worth it. Anyways, that's it for today. If you liked what you saw, consider liking and subscribing and hit the bell to be notified on my next video. If you want to join the Ash's Quest community, you can check out our Discord server linked in the description. And if you want to support development of Ash's Quest, consider supporting me on Patreon, where you get early access to my videos, vote on upcoming video topics, and get shoutouts in the outro. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next video.